So let's look at Prince2, the first point, which is Prince2 Principles, which will be the guiding foundations for project management. And Prince2 is basically projects in controlled environments, and it's built on 7 core principles that form the guiding foundations of effective project management. So these principles basically provide the framework for decision making and action throughout the project lifecycle, ensuring alignment with project objectives and organization goals. So let's get on and explore this the first point, that is the principles. So continued business justification. The principle of continued business justification basically emphasizes the importance of ensuring that the rationale of for initiating and continuing a project remains valid. That is, once you start the project till the end, there should be demand for the project, or the customer should be willing to pay for that project, or any buyer should be able to view that project. The project should not be like, for example, if we had the COVID, right? Uh, so imagine we started a production for a COVID product, and then the COVID disappeared or went away, and then you have the product, but then you are in the middle of the project of this production or this project, and then you see that the COVID has disappeared and there's no more demand. So that's where it is important to have a continued business justification, and projects must deliver measurable benefits that outweigh the investment and risks involved. And regular reviews and assessments are conducted to validate the business, ensuring the project. So this is a cyclic process throughout the project. There has to be validation continuously happening to see that the project is still viable and is aligned with the organizational objectives. So learning from experience involves capturing and applying lessons learned from the past projects to improve current and future endeavors. Project teams are encouraged basically to reflect on successes, failures, and best practices. In Agile, we call lessons learned, and this is done in sprint review meetings. So similar for any other project management methodologies, where we have the team has to give a feedback, and this is locked in some tool or in somewhere, so that in the next project this will be used as a learning point, enabling continuous improvement and informed decision making. So by leveraging knowledge gained from previous experience, organizations can enhance the project outcome. So you do a project one, you learn something good and bad, you log it, and then project two, use this as a starting point. So defined roles and responsibilities. Clear definition of roles and responsibilities are very key, that everyone involved in the project understands the duty responsibilities. Also, it gives a boost the morale of the employees, so that they know what they want, what their position is, and what they have to do. And principle 2 outlines the specific roles such as project manager, project board, and team manager, and each with distinct responsibilities. Establishing a well-defined organization structure promotes effective communication, collaboration, and accountability. So this is very important for any project, that because the people are the one who run the project, and their roles has to be clearly defined, who has to do what, so that things can be communicated properly. If you have some doubts, you ask the right person. All these things are organized properly. So managing by stages means the principle of managing by stages divides the project into manageable stages, each with defined objectives, deliverables, and checkpoints. So this incremental approach allows for better control and monitoring of progress, enabling early identification of issues, deviations from the plan. So by managing the project at distinct stages, risks are mitigated and resources can be allocated efficiently. So this means if you split a big project into, say, project stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, then you can allocate the resources properly if you have less resources, and also the risks are mitigated, so that you divide it into different stages. So you can identify if there's a risk in one, you can identify it in early hand. And the incremental approach allows for better control and monitoring. So it enables control and monitoring, so that you don't have to deliver something which the customer does not want. So that's one big advantage of managing by stages. So managing by exception empowers the decision makers to focus their attention on exceptions rather than routine matters. That is, defined tolerances are established for key aspects of the project, such as time, cost, quality, and scope. So these are the key aspects which you have to always very critical for any project: time, cost, quality, and scope. And if the performance falls outside these tolerances, and escalated actions are triggered and appropriate measures are taken. That is, if something goes out of time, or the cost spirals, or the quality is going down, then there should be mechanisms which should for escalation mechanisms to address this situation. So this is what we call exceptions. So exceptions occur like, if everything is under control, then it's not an exception. So if something goes outside, for example, if it cost goes outside, then it's an exception. So this is what you call by attention managing by exception. And this principle ensures that the management attention is directed where it is more needed and facilitating timely intervention and resolution. So managing by exception means you take action if something goes wrong quickly, and there are mechanisms to do so. And this helps in properly managing the resource. That is, you don't spend so much time in something which is not working, or some technology which is almost gone, or is not dysfunctional. So that's the managing by exception, where things can be directed properly. And focusing on products, the principle of focusing on products emphasizes the importance of defining and delivering tangible outputs or products throughout the project lifecycle. So each stage of the project is oriented towards creation of some specific deliverables, such as documents, software, or hardware. By maintaining the product focused approach, project teams ensure that the deliverables meet quality standards, satisfy stakeholder requirements, and contribute to the overall project success. That is, the idea is to keep delivering something in each stage. It's something like agile, where you have the scrum and you have the sprint meetings, and every sprint you have a deliverable. That's the same thing what Prince2 advises, that each stage delivers something in an iterative manner, so that you have something visible to the customer, or we see that the project is running in the right direction. So by maintaining the product focused approach, the product team ensure delivery. So you have the quality is met, satisfy the stakeholder, that is the customer, are also seeing the improvement or the progress in the project, and this also gives an overall vision of the project success. So tailoring to suit the project environment, Prince2 is designed to be tailored to suit the specific needs of the project, specific needs, characteristics, and constraints of individual projects. So organizations are encouraged to adapt Prince2 principles according to Prince2 principles, process, and themes, to align with project complexity, size, industry, and organizational culture. Tailoring enables flexibility and scalability, allowing the projects to benefit from best practices of Prince2. That is, tailoring to suit means you have a set of principles and ideas which Prince2 gives you, and organizations might work differently. So what is advised is organization encouraged to adapt to these Prince2 principles and processes and themes to align with the project complexity, size, and industry and organization's culture. So this tailoring helps in delivering the fruits of Prince2, which is always is a time-tested project management methodology, according to and accommodating with the unique project requirements and circumstances. So the basic idea is to tailor your project and your company according to Prince2 principles, process, and themes. So concluding, the 7 principles of Prince2 provide a solid foundation for effective project management, guiding practitioners in making informed decisions, managing risks, and delivering successful outcomes. And by adhering to these principles, organizations can enhance project governance, increase stakeholder and confidence, and achieve project success.